Now, you may well have been enjoying this lovely weather we've been having recently, but in some areas, the lack of rain is starting to cause a concern. Highland Council is urging people with private water supplies to use them responsibly and have set up an emergency bottled water scheme for those who are running low. It comes as more than half of Scotland's rivers are placed on a low water alert. Andrew Thompson reports.
Half of Scotland's river catchment areas have been put on alert for water scarcity. The River Dee in Aberdeenshire would normally be higher at this time of year, but lack of winter snow and the current dry spell have had an impact that's been noticed by these walkers.
Everybody talks about climate change, but I definitely have noticed that the weather has changed and there's been so little rain lately that the river is really depleted. And it is worrying, I find,
It's as low as we've seen it. We were trying to recall when it was this low, but it's very rare that it's this low at this time of the year. Maybe in the middle of the summer, August, September, it's different, but in May, no.
The UK as a whole is experiencing its driest spring conditions so far for 130 years, and newly exposed rocks protruding from riverbeds can create hazards. This outdoor adventure company is now mostly having to stick to lochs. It stopped hiring out canoes for use in places like the Dee because they were getting damaged.
The canoes that we use on rivers are very heavy duty, very thick plastic boats, and they're designed to bounce off rocks. So for a £1,200 canoe to be completely written off, which has happened to us and other providers recently, they're taking really big hits.
Here at the River Ness, water levels are also looking low, but there's no specific warnings of water scarcity yet. However, with the dry conditions continuing, Highland Council's had to issue advice and support to people who rely on private water supplies. Around 50,000 people in the Highlands have their own sources of water like this, and prolonged dry weather can affect the quality of the supply as well as the quantity.
We have a large number of supplies that are surface supplies, so they take water from a stream or a very shallow spring, and therefore when we have continual dry weather spells, it means that the water levels in those supplies are diminishing. We've had a few inquiries in the Highlands in the last few days, and they are increasing in number now. The council's here to support them and give advice, and if necessary we can provide them with some bottled drinking water in the short term so they've got that comfort that they know they've got water at home.
Scottish Water says reservoirs are 10% lower than they would normally be at this time of year. But while the dry weather looks set to continue, there's still a long way to go before water conservation measures are needed.